So welcome back to our partnering series, and what I want to do today is I want to talk about what happens now that we're under contract, we're buying the property, and we haven't exactly closed on it yet. What should I expect when I'm actually under contract and going through that purchasing process? When you're partnering up on a deal, it's important to understand what's going to happen next. So check it out. We've got our property under contract, and there are important deadlines that are associated with this property. Every Rep C or real estate purchase contract basically says during the purchase process, there's these mini deadlines along the way that you could actually get out of the property without penalty if you wanted to. At some point, the earnest money is going to go hard, which means you can't get it back. So we're under contract. You've written a check, $500, $1,500, some kind of check that says, this is my earnest money. Now we're going through a period of due diligence. So there's actual deadlines, and depending on the state we're doing this in, there's inspection deadlines, due diligence deadlines, loan deadlines, appraisal deadlines, and I want to walk you through these. First of all, when we get under contract, we don't always know if we're actually going to stick with the property and buy it, so we're doing some different things. One is we're getting an inspection on the property. We don't want to buy it and then find out later that there was several $1,000s worth of problems that we need to fix. We want to know that up front. So yes, we're doing an inspection on these properties, and yes, we're finding that out. Part of the due diligence is the loan. If the partnership is lined up, we've already been through the lending process and we know that we're solid and golden on the loan. Same thing on the appraisal. We're not looking for the appraisal to tell us that we have won a lion's share of equity. The appraisal these days never really tells you anything other than the home is at least worth what you're purchasing it for. Sometimes people are hoping that the appraisal reveals that you've gotten some great discount because you have it under contract for $180,000 and the appraisal comes in at $200,000, and then you say, well, I can feel good about that. Appraisers, there's been a major crackdown this last decade. They're not going to appraise something for more than the Rep C ever. Even if you're getting it at a huge discount, they're still only going to appraise it for that. The CMA or the ROI analysis is really what's going to determine whether we have a good deal or not. And we've been evaluating other homes in the area. We've done that math. We knew that math up front, so we don't even need to wait for inspection, due diligence, or things like this. Inspection is a period of time for us to negotiate a little lower price or to know what we're walking into. And then it's also important during the loan process before we close that we actually get insurance on the property. You know, on the property, you're going to need insurance for the home. One of the things that will happen in the process is one of our third-party vendors will actually reach out and actually collect the information to provide insurance on the property. Now, you and I, we want to maximize our cash flow, which means lower insurance means more money in our pocket. So they may actually ask if we can bundle this up with your other insurance carriers, with your other properties, with your other cars, with any other insurable items that you have, because what that'll do when you bundle it is it will drop the price. In like 95% of the situations, we're actually saving our clients money on their own stuff, which I don't really care that much about, but it does mean that we'll have a lower payment on the insurance on this property, which means higher cash flow, higher profitability. So when they reach out, use it as an opportunity to bundle everything up and save yourself money across the board. Now, what to expect in the end is that it comes time for closing. And closing is when we basically call you up and say, we need you to meet at a title company, or we're having a notary come to you. They've got the loan docs. And what will happen is you'll sit down at the table, they'll read through all of the information, all the numbers, they'll show you the expense sheet, the good faith estimate. We've already gone through that. If you're partnering with me, I've already meticulously gone through everything. I know the numbers. And really what you're going to do is what I do. It becomes a race for how fast you can sign. Now, when you're new to it, you should read through and make sure you understand what you're signing so that you can be a good steward. But once you have it down and you've done it a million times like me, so it feels, you just get in there and you sign. And what you're basically signing says, we're agreeing to the mortgage a million times over, because they're going to make you sign for that over and over again. They're going to make sure that you understand exactly what you're doing. And then once you're done with that property, once it's closed on, you're going to wire a certain amount of money if you're the funding partner for that down payment. And that basically is what's going to allow the closing to fund. Now, the bank has their money. The bank has put the loan in place. And my team will be reaching out to say, talk to my accounting team. And we're going to deed the property into the LLC so that essentially we can be there to make the payments. We may have you get involved to get us on the, to actually hook us up with the bank so that we can set up direct deposit, make sure you've got access to the bank account information, and basically we're off to the races. We'll continue monitoring the property, we'll continue managing the property, and then we've got to get together and figure out the strategy on buying our next home. Now, if you're watching this because you want to set up partnerships with other people, I'm sharing with you exactly how I do this verbatim with my partners. And this system that I developed 15 years ago hasn't changed a whole lot because it's good, it's worked, and it's been tweaked out really well. So, my friends, that's what we want you to understand today when it comes to the expectation from being under contract to closing on the property.